Welcome to Courageously Unbothered with Sonia McDonald, the podcast for those who are ready to shatter limits, take up space, and own their impact. Sonia brings boldness, courage, and a whole lot of sass to every episode, inspiring listeners to stop playing small and start showing the world who's boss. This isn't your typical self-help show. This is where unstoppable magic happens. Get ready to rise up and be unapologetically unbothered.
Hi everyone, it's Sonia McDonald here and welcome to Courageously Unbothered, the show where we take it and call it like it is, right? Ditch the BS and talk about what it really takes to live unapologetically. Now, I'm Sonia McDonald, your non-nonsense guide to getting out of your own way and into the life you actually want to live. Now, let me ask you something, right? How many times in the past week have you said yes to something that you didn't actually want to do? How often have you apologized for things that weren't your fault? And how much energy are you wasting wondering what other people think about you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Quite a lot, right? They're taking up all this free rent. And today we're talking about how to stop people pleasing and finally start living for yourself. We'll unpack why we want to do it, how it's holding you back, and most importantly, how to break free. Because let me tell you something right now, right? You're not here to live small. You're definitely not here to live according to someone else's expectations. So grab your coffee, wine, tea, whatever, water, get whatever you need. Let's get into it. Now I'm grabbing my water as we speak because to stay hydrated. Okay, and I am actually sitting here recording with my beautiful new little puppy. We've called him the Chief Cute Officer. The team at Leadership HQ love him so much. He is definitely the light of my life, Lewis. So he's here wandering around. And so I want this podcast to be absolutely about what I would say to my younger self. Yeah, definitely what I'd say to my younger self is stop people pleasing. Okay, so what is people pleasing and why do we do it? All right, and I'll try and show you a picture of Louis later. So you can have a look at him because he's adorable. So yeah, why do we do it? All right, let's break this down. What exactly is people pleasing? It's not just about being nice. It's over-prioritizing what other people want at the expense of what you need. Okay, it's the yes when you mean to say no. Okay, if you're biting your tongue, right, because you don't want to upset someone, it's thinking if they're happy, then I'm happy, right? You know, I don't know if that sounds familiar. I used to do this all the time when I was younger. This people pleasing and this kind of, wanting acceptance, wanting to be liked was so energy draining. So let me tell you about my ultimate people pleasing moment. A few years ago, right, I was asked to take on a project at work. I had no time. I actually had no interest. And honestly, I had no clue how to do it. But instead of saying no, I said, sure, I'd be happy to help. Now, fast forward a few months, and I was pulling 14-hour days, running on coffee and regret. And the person who asked for my help didn't even notice. That's the thing about people pleasing. It's a thankless job. And look, here's the thing. People pleasing isn't kindness. And I'm a big one around kindness, like kindness being a superpower. It's a fear, right? It's a fear of rejection. It's a fear of judgment. It's a fear that if you say no or stand up for yourself, setting those boundaries, people will think less of you. And you know what? Guess what? That fear is a lie. It's a liar. Most of the time, people aren't even thinking about you that deeply. Sorry, not sorry, but you're not the center of their universe. You need to be the center of your universe, right? These are the hidden costs of people pleasing. Okay, let's talk about what it's really costing you, like this people pleasing syndrome, because trust me, it's not just your time. Okay, let me break it down for you. Number one, it's draining your energy. Okay. And I want you to think about this while you're listening to this. Okay. And think about, what it is costing you. The cost, is really important from the neuroscience perspective. It's draining your energy. This is number one. It's draining your energy. When you spend your time trying to keep everyone else happy, there's nothing left for you, right? You're running on fumes. And for what? A gold star from someone who probably won't even remember your effort next week. Nah, dolls. We're not doing that anymore. We're not doing it. Just let it go. It's stealing your authenticity. Every time you say yes when you mean no, every time you shrink yourself to fit someone else's expectations, you're losing a little bit of who you are. And the world doesn't need another clone. It needs you in all your messy, bold, beautiful glory. It's making you resentful. Okay. That's another thing that it's doing, right? And it's making you resentful. And let's be real. How often do you say yes to something and then immediately think, why the hell did I agree to this? That's resentment. And look, it's a people pleaser's constant companion. I think it's really time you actually kick it to the curb, right? And it's also holding you back. So number one, it's draining your energy. Number two, it's stealing your authenticity. Hello. And that's really, really important. It's also making you resentful, which isn't good from a brain chemical neuroscience perspective. It's also then holding you back when you're busy chasing approval. And I get that, this whole approval seeking thing. I've had it ever since I was a little girl. Wasn't I good enough? Like, I want everyone to like me, wanting that external validation. You're not chasing your dreams. You're playing small. And honestly, can I tell you, way better than that. Okay. So I want to help you break free from this. Yay, people pleasing syndrome. All right. So how do you stop? And this is really important in every aspect of your life. I'm a big courage leadership crusader, and I'm badass at this space because I want to help everyone embrace their inner greatness. I talk about it in my books. You can see them. Oh, if you're listening, actually, everyone's listening. I'm also recording a video. You can see and listen. I'll actually share and give you the topics and the names of my books. Leadership Attitude, Just Rocket, First Comes Courage. They're all about courage and kindness and leadership and helping you be your inner greatness. And I want to help you break free from this people pleasing. So how do you stop? How do you go from a lifetime of approval addiction to living unapologetically? It starts with a decision, and that decision is you being the priority in your life. It has to be about you. Okay. And here's how we make that happen. All right. Number one, you're listening. Okay. Now, if you're driving or walking while you're listening to this, make sure you race home and write some notes. Okay. Race to the office, write some notes. Okay. Number one is reframe criticism. Let me tell you something revolutionary. What other people think about you is none of your damn business. Most of the time, their opinions are more about their insecurities than your actions. Let them judge you. Let them talk. Let them roll their eyes. It's got nothing to do with you. Remember, be courageously unbothered. Courageously unbothered. So reframe criticism. Who cares, right? Number two, learn to say no. No, it's so empowering. Oh my gosh, what can you say no to today? Okay, learn to say no. Practice this with me. Practice. No, that doesn't work for me. See? Or no, I don't have time for that. No, I have to watch my energy buckets. See, the world doesn't end when you say no. I love to use, I'm going through menopause and I just don't have the energy. Or no, I'm probably not even going to remember about doing that because of my brain fog. I love using my menopause because it's true. Because I just don't have the energy at the moment. And so it doesn't matter if you're perimenopausal or menopausal. It's even in your teen. If you're listening to this as a younger person, please, it doesn't matter what aspect or wherever you are on stage in your life, regardless of gender, age, whatever, learn to say no. Okay. It's so empowering. The world doesn't end when you say no. You don't owe anyone a detailed explanation or a 3-paragraph apology. Just say no. No, thanks. It's really great. I love saying no. Number 3 is setting boundaries and sticking to them. I'm reading some really great books around boundaries at the moment. Some really great. There's being the boundaries badass or boundaries boss. I like, you're a badass is another great. It's so great. Boundaries. So set boundaries and stick to them. Boundaries are absolutely your best friend. If something doesn't align with your values or your goals, and values are really important. So if you don't know your values, reach out to us. Just go to leadershiphq.com.au or soniamcdonald.com.au and reach out to the team because we've got some great values tools or Google values tools. Then it's a no. It has to be a no if it's not aligned to your values or your goals. Protect your time, protect your energy, and let go of guilt. Remember, saying no to them is saying yes to you. I mean, obviously you can say yes if you really want to do something and really want to. It aligns to your dreams and your goals and your values. I'm not saying say no to everything, but I think it is about setting boundaries and sticking to it. Step 4 is stop over apologizing. Unless you stepped on someone's foot or spilt their drink, stop saying sorry. You're not sorry for having boundaries, for having opinions, or for existing. Just own it. So stop apologizing. That's really, really important. And number 5 is get comfortable with being disliked. There's a great book called The Courage to Be Disliked. I highly recommend you read it, because not everyone's going to like you, and that was a tough lesson for me, actually, thinking, oh my gosh, why doesn't anyone like me? And that's okay, because people who matter respect you for being real, and the rest, who cares? I always say to my daughter all the time, because she has a real thing about being liked. She's getting much better at it. I'm like, look, if they don't like you, then they're not your tribe. They're not values aligned, and that's okay. Okay, now I'm going to talk about, I think it's really important about embracing your unapologetic self. So here's the fun part. What happens when you stop people pleasing? Life gets lighter. You stop worrying about every single little thing. You start saying yes to the things that light you up and no to the things that drain you. You show up as the real you. And guess what? People, and the right people, will love you for it. Okay, being unapologetic isn't about being rude or selfish. It's about being honest, right? And it's about living being authentic. I'm not very good at saying some words, but that's okay. I can't even say specific. I keep saying Pacific. Anyway, and it's about showing others that you can do the same. So when you stop people pleasing, you give everyone around you, right, the permission to stop too. And that's leadership. That's courage. That's impact. All right. So some takeaways here, right? So let's recap, because I want to give you some homework. Are you ready for this homework? Because I am. Mantra. I love mantras. Okay. I'm not responsible for what they think of me. I'm responsible for what I think of me. Okay. So the mantra, I'm not responsible for what they think of me. I'm responsible for what I think of me. Challenge. I want you to say no to one thing this week. No explanations, no guilt, just no. And I'd love to know what you said no to. And number 3, journaling. I'm a big one around journaling. Please journal. It's so important. It's so neuroscience, powerful. What would I do if I stopped caring about other
Thanks for
opinions?
tuning in to Courageously Unbothered with Sonia McDonald. If this episode has left you fired up, make sure to subscribe,
Okay,
leave a
one last
glowing
thing.
review,
No,
and share it
don't
with
just
others who
listen
are
to
ready
this
to shake
podcast.
things
Go
up.
back to
Sonia's mission is to
go
spark
back to
fearless
people
action
pleasing,
and
take
unstoppable
action, be
confidence.
bold,
And this is
let them
just the
think
beginning.
whatever
Until next
they
time,
want,
keep breaking
and watch
barriers,
how
owning
freeing
your
it
magic,
feels.
and
Okay,
staying
if you
unapologetically
love this episode, share it with someone who needs it. Leave a review. Let me know your biggest takeaway. And until next time, stay bold, stay unapologetic. Stop worrying about what other people think, because you've got better things to do. Remember to be courageously unbothered. So please reach out to me at the team at Leadership HQ, at the Leadership Collective, at Sonia McDonald, and also at Meadow Rise. There's so many great things that we're doing out there to help everyone embrace the inner greatness. And yeah, remember, if there's something that you'd love to say no to, think of me on your shoulder going, okay, say no, you've got this, right? It's so amazing. And let us know how you go. Okay, remember to always stay kind and stay courageous. And thank you for listening and watching today. Take care.